amigos, and welcome to our hood of Mexico City. You may not know where we are, but we're standing right in our neighborhood, and today's video is going to be a bit different. We're talking all about how weird Mexico City is. Now, I'd like to add 700 disclaimers to this, but I'll go with a couple. If you've ever watched any of our videos, you know that Greg and I absolutely love Mexico. We have learned so much here. We still have so much to learn. So all of these, hopefully comical relief items, are all in good taste, all in good humor, only for fun, and we hope that some of you can relate to how Mexico City is so weird.
Okay, now thing number one is actually a little disappointing right now, but the pharmacies here in Mexico are usually blasting music. I'm not sure why this pharmacy has the volume turned down so low, because typically during the day it is pretty loud, very unique, very fun, as you can tell. Now, thing number two really isn't that weird at all, but the amount of bakeries here in Mexico City is amazing. I think it's one thing, again, less weird, but something that we just didn't expect. I had no idea how much Mexicans, and especially Chilangos, love bread, but it makes me fall in love with the city that much more, and I know Weta feels the same.
Bread.
Number three, and definitely the least expected about Mexico City, is the sheer amount of people in the city, especially on this street. It's just insane, but luckily we thrive off the energy, thrive off the craziness of this city, but it's a little weird. Another thing that might be strange or weird about Mexico City, if you are not from here, is navigating the crosswalks for us gringos tends to be treacherous. I think it's treacherous for all, and he's not doing it now, but the amount of times this guy will whistle, usually when I'm not filming, is insane. I don't know what the whistles mean. I don't know if anybody else knows what the whistles mean. I think the whistles might be in Spanish, and that's why I can't understand them. While we're talking about police officers or crossing guards, I think one thing that's somewhat, there's a whistle, one thing that's somewhat weird or that we weren't used to is just the sheer amount of cops, especially in the Centro Histórico area of Mexico City, is a little different. And I think we were somewhat used to it in Vallarta, but definitely in the States, you're not used to being around this many police. And number 6 or 7 is about weird things about Mexico City is the sheer amount of walking that you do when you live here. I know it's completely normal to people from Mexico City, but if you're from the United States or potentially Canada and you're used to sitting in your car, driving everywhere, it's way different here. We walk, I don't know, 5 or 6 miles a day, and that's just going to eat. That's like staying in our neighborhood. So that's not so much of a weird thing, but something that you have to get used to. This next one may be the case in pretty much any big business hub, but the amount of shoe shine places here in Mexico City is pretty astonishing. You'll see police officers on there, businessmen. It's a big business here. More whistles and more shoes. Now, I think there's actually a lesson to be learned in the shoe shining thing, because I'm pretty terrible at keeping my shoes clean, so I've got some things to learn from Mexico City. Given Mexico's reputation in the United States, unfortunately a lot due to the news, this one is less weird and more unexpected, but the amount of museums in Mexico City is insane. We've probably said that at least 156 times, which is I think how many museums there are here in Mexico City, the second most of any city in the entire world. Very, very culturally rich. I really feel like I get the sense that here in Mexico City, and especially in Mexico, they really value like art, music, and those type of cultural items. Items, things, plays. Pieces. Perhaps the most hated debate of all is quesadillas. Quesadillas in Mexico City.
I don't know if this is weird or not, but I just said these actual words from my mouth. Quesadilla de queso. We'll let you guys decide if that one's weird or not, but I think it is.
Also, another thing that's weird about Mexico City, and quite possibly, maybe what I love the most, is the amount of tortas they have here, and how you can get a torta de pretty much anything. I feel like you can get a torta de tamal. That has a name for it, I don't know. I think they have tortas de chilaquiles con milanesa. I think you can get any type of torta. Maybe it's that way in other cities in Mexico. It wasn't that way in Vallarta. I love it. This torta de al pastor, not weird.
Our final that we can think of right now, weird thing about Mexico City, is that you can find everything and anything in one block, from perfume to clothes to groceries to anything else.
Tacos, tortas, cameras.
Food, anything is all within like one block, at least where we are in downtown. And that is so different than in Dallas. I can remember when Greg and I would run errands and we'd spend 4 hours going to 2 different places. But what's even more interesting is you can find from designer brand down to person you're not quite sure where he got that stuff from, selling things. So within the same block you have fancy stores down to the top of the line to the bottom of the line, the whole shebang. That is all the weird things we have about Mexico City that we can think of for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure and subscribe to our channel. Click the bell, that way you get notified when?
Every time.
We post a video, and we'll see you guys, hey?
Yeah.
Adios.